Hey guys, we got a gear review today. This here is the Royal Mountain 40-liter X-Pac roll top backpacking backpack. It features an expandable top that brings you from 40 liters to about 50 liters. It has a removable frame, and it's a great pack for the price, coming in at about $40. The MSRP is $39.99 on their website. You find it for various prices between $40 through $60 on Amazon, depending on when you look. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm not gonna waste your time begging you to like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. So let's get right into it. So starting with the main body of this pack, it is made out of a material that is called X-Pac. X-Pac has been around for quite a long time, and it's primarily used for sails and sail ships, and it's actually a really solid material. It features a multi-layer design, and you have a nylon face, typically followed by a TPU or polyester film, and then finally it has a nylon taffeta backing. So it's actually a really, really solid material. It's definitely not as light as DCF, but it's pretty dang close for how strong it is roughly. I believe this material comes in at about 3.5 ounces per square yard. And it's overall just a really solid material. So the fact that this cheap pack is actually made out of a really good material is definitely a plus. If you want to learn more about X-Pac material, you could go to xpac.com, and they have all of their different variations of the material, and you could get a good idea of what you're working with. Start up here on the top. We have a very large strap that has a lot of adjustment on it. As you can see, I have over 24 inches of strap to work with here. And you could use this to put a bear canister on the top, also just to compress everything down nice and tight. And right now I actually have a bear canister inside of the pack. So a bear canister fits on its side inside of this pack. I typically will put it inside the pack if I do bring a bear canister, but it works great on the top of the pack as well. And just going with a quick overview of what we have going on this pack. On the front, we have a nice big stretch mesh pocket. It would be probably about 4 liters in size. It seems to be pretty good material. We have trekking pole holders. We have straps on the bottom here that are pretty adjustable. You could attach something on the bottom. I typically don't attach anything to my packs other than trekking poles. But if you are somebody that likes to put extra stuff on the exterior of your pack, you definitely can with this one. I more so just use these straps to compress the overall volume of the pack. On the sides, we have large pockets, stretch mesh pockets. And as you can see, you could actually fit 2 bottles side by side in here. It also has a nice pocket on this part that goes this way, which definitely allows you to access your water bottles without taking your pack off. Although it could be kind of hard to actually find the hole and get the water bottle back in. I typically, if I do that, I will put the water bottle in cap down. Kind of helps me just find the hole. And that's really if I'm not using hydration pack. Coming around on the back side here, quick overview, like I said, we have a nice mesh backing. This is a pretty thick mesh and it's very breathable. You do have a lot of airspace between the main compartment of the pack and the stretch in the mesh right here. We have our hip belts. The hip belts are about 3.5, 4 inches tall, and they have a good amount of padding on them. Each hip belt has actually a very large pocket. These are some of the more usable pockets I've seen on hip belt pockets. Typically hip belt pockets are just so small that it's almost like you can't really use them. But these are pretty good size. They have nice zippers on them. The zippers on these are all YKK zippers. So I have seen some people saying that theirs weren't YKK, so I think there might be some discrepancy in that. I don't think there's really a consistency. So if you do get this pack, hopefully you get YKK zippers. And between the pockets and the actual hip belt padding, you have a nice little kind of pocket in between there that allows you to take all of your excess strapping and you can stick it in there. That way you don't have your excess strap just kind of dangling. I don't know about you, but that's really annoying to me. And our shoulder straps, they're not the most padded, but they have enough padding, and they're pretty comfortable. We got pockets on each shoulder strap that are pretty big. Actually, you can put a small 16-ounce size water bottle fits in there. I typically will put my bear spray in one of them, and then in the other one, I will typically put my small action cam, which is the Insta 360. It has a chest strap, and it's pretty adjustable. I don't actually use chest straps, so can't really speak on the comfort of it. And it does have a built-in whistle. You have some D-rings on each one of these, and you also have strapping to guide a hydration system. So at the moment right now, I actually have a bare canister inside of here. And as you can see, it fits in pretty well. You can actually put it on the top if you'd like. Definitely fits on the top. And this strap right here does hold on a bare canister quite well. And it has actually a lot of slack. So you could see with this, it's definitely possible you could put a lot of different things on the top of this pack here with how much adjustment it has. And the trekking pole holders, the mounts to hold on your trekking poles, they have a lot of adjustment as well. And they seem to be made pretty solid, pretty satisfied with these. And they definitely hold them on well. The stretch mesh is really stretchy, and it seems to be decent quality as well. I don't see any issues with the stitching. Definitely able to fit a lot of stuff inside of the stretch mesh. I would say overall you could probably expand it up to about 4 liters, maybe 5 liters. I think 4 liters is probably a more fair assumption. Turning the pack around, we have the buckles on this all are unbranded, but they definitely appear to be a fairly decent quality. I'm happy with those. You have a strap at the top, a handle, and we have load lifters. Load lifters on these have a lot of adjustment. Definitely have a lot of adjustment with the load lifters here, and I think that's actually a really good compliment to this pack considering the torso is not adjustable. So the ability to adjust the load lifters is definitely a plus. You have multiple ways you could adjust these load lifters. So not only do you have the adjustment at the top here, you can also adjust the load lifters right here that way. And also you could change the location at which the load lifters grab on your shoulder straps. So you could definitely bring that down lower so that it's kind of grabbing on a lower point of the shoulder strap. And you just got to kind of experiment with it, see what feels the best. And definitely it's going to change with different loads, what you have in your pack, how heavy it is, and also how you have your pack loaded. Show you the design right here. So it appears that the shoulder straps come into a portion that is still X-Pac material, and you have some padding right here, and that overlaps onto what it feels like to be a plastic panel. I believe I do believe that this is a plastic panel that runs the length from here to here, and I believe it's about that thick, where it meets the mesh of your actual back section. So you have a lot of breathability right here. It's about a 2-inch gap between this actual mesh that rests on your back and the internal part of the pack where the frame is attached. So a little closer look at the hip belt here. Like I said, we got actually very nice YKK zippers, and these are the waterproof zippers, so they have the rubber seal on them, and they slide nice, pretty solid. They don't get caught up on anything. They're pretty easy to slide with the pack on, and we have quite a bit of room in these pockets. Actually, as you can see, I could fit, my entire hand inside of it, so pretty big pockets. That's actually really nice. And here is a closer look at the spot in between where you could actually fit stuff in there. So I typically will just stuff my excess strapping in there, and it slides in there really nice, really easily. Definitely really nice to have that. It's really frustrating to me when you just have straps dangling all over the place. So that allows you to not have to cut off the strapping. I like to not cut off strapping, honestly. I don't really like to alterate my packs like that. We have nice big buckle right here. It's unbranded, but it looks pretty solid. And yeah, I haven't had any issues with it unclipping. Put a lot of tension on that, and it holds well. And we have obviously a mirror of the other side on this side. And for example, to show you how my phone fits inside of these, my phone fits in no problem with plenty of room to spare. So pretty sweet, honestly. I'm really surprised at this pack for $40 what I paid for it. It's actually astonishing the quality that you receive in this pack for the price point. So yeah, the stretch mesh on here is very stretchy, but it's not so stretchy that it feels flimsy. It does feel like it could actually take a lot of abuse, and I would say you could fit about 4 liters worth of stuff inside of this. I'll go ahead and put my arm inside of it just to show you the size of it, and it's definitely pretty big. Trekking pole holders. They work great. Not really, I don't know how much ingenuity could really go into this. I think, most packs kind of follow the same design with the trekking pole holders, and overall, I'm satisfied with how they work, but time will tell how long they hold up. So far, so good. Go ahead and show you removing the trekking pole. So not too bad, pretty easy. Pulls right on out. Other side, spitting image, of course, of the other side. Comes right on out. And we got a lot of adjustment in that. It is a stretchy material, and yeah, definitely got a lot of stretch to it. So I'm satisfied with those. We have straps right here. These also have a lot of adjustment. Have another set of straps down here, which also have a lot of adjustment. Pockets on the side are a stretch mesh material, and they stretch a lot. They are pretty deep as well. So no problem fitting 2 1-liter bottles side by side. And I mean, even look, there's 3 bottles in there and it actually fits it. So that's pretty impressive how big those are. I don't know who would want to put that much water on one side, but hey, you do you. Give you a look at the bottom here. We got 2 straps. These as well have a lot of adjustment on them. So here is a closer look at the shoulder straps. And they are not the most padded. The padding is sufficient, I suppose. I would like to see more padding on this, but it hasn't really been too uncomfortable. I have worn a load in this just shy of 30 pounds. And after about 8 miles, I did have a small amount of discomfort in my shoulder, my right shoulder to be specific, but it wasn't too bad. I will say I do have a prior injury to that shoulder, so that's always kind of a weak point on me. Typically will experience pain in that shoulder. And I have a 16.9 fluid ounce water bottle right here just to show you how it fits in here. It's going to fight me, of course, because I'm not wearing it, but so just to give you an idea of the size of this pocket, it's a pretty good sized pocket. So definitely fits a bear spray inside of there, no problem. And we have loops right here that allow you to route your water bladder line for your hydration system if you want to run a hydration system. We have D-rings, plastic D-rings on both sides. And those are nice. You could clip on your Garmin InReach, whatever, your satellite, GPS, anything like that. And we have a lot of adjustment in the load lifters. Definitely a lot of adjustment. You could adjust it at the top. You could also adjust it down here. And then you could also slide this up or down, which is pretty nice. You could definitely kind of tweak that a lot and figure out what works best for you. This is not an adjustable torso. So the torso is fixed. So I would definitely recommend having a friend measure your torso. I have a 16-inch torso and it fits me really good. But I would say if you're any bigger than about 16, any smaller than about, say, 14, this pack is not going to fit you very well. You're going to be uncomfortable. So between 14 and 16-inch torso, this is going to be a pretty good fit. It honestly, I really like the way it fits me. So I lucked out on this. And right here, give you an idea of the gap in between your mesh on the back of the pack and the main body. I actually have a closed cell foam pad slid in between there. So it's pretty nice. You do have a lot of ventilation. Another nice thing too is if you have a hydration pack in here that has cold water inside of it, you get a lot of coldness, cold air kind of coming through. You could feel it and it's actually really nice, but I'm very satisfied with this. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try to show you guys the inside of the pack. This is kind of hard to film, so bear with me. So you do have a sleeve with a zipper that is an opening in between the main body of the pack and your mesh back where your back rests. And I like to put a closed cell foam pad in there. And this zipper right here is actually what allows you to remove your frame if you wanted to remove the frame. So that zips up. You can unzip it. And right here would be the area that would allow you to remove the frame. As you can see, there is the frame right there. And then you have a sleeve for your bladder if you want to run a hydration bladder. And you could put this on like that, and that'll keep your bladder from falling down into the abyss of the pack. And other than that, the internal is featureless. You do have 2 slots on both sides to run a hydration line if you want to run your hydration bladder. And that's about it for the pack, guys.